Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. Video number 1 of 2. As usual on this channel nowadays during this transfer window, which is proving to be extremely hectic, things are popping off left, right and centre. If you didn't catch last night's video, I'll leave a link for you guys right here. You can check that out as we go into great depth into what went down yesterday. As I said, if you haven't checked it out, go over there and have a look. Today, we're going to kick off the day with all guns blazing fireworks. Fireworks, because this is what this guy does. This is, yeah, you know who I'm on about. It's in the title. You can see it. We're going to dive straight in to what the hell is going on with Romelu Lukaku. And guess what? Guess what? We're meant to be having pre-season training. We're meant to, start getting players to arrive back to the training ground. Well, someone doesn't want to show up. What a surprise. Let's get right into it and then let's analyse this because let's face it, we knew this would happen. And I know some are going to be happy at this, but the circumstances involved doesn't exactly help us as Chelsea Football Club. Do you know what I mean? Let's get into it. Here's the latest from Matt Law from Romelu Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku is set to miss his Chelsea return date as he waits for Inter Milan move. Matt Law goes into more detail, saying, update to this, Chelsea have now moved Lukaku's return date back to next Monday, July 17th. The hope and expectation from both sides is that a deal with Inter will have been done by then. We've got more from Matt Law saying Romelu Lukaku is not planning to return to Chelsea on Wednesday. They had given him a return date of Wednesday to restart pre-season training if a deal for his exit had not been agreed. It remains to be seen whether or not Lukaku will stay away with Chelsea's blessing. Now, obviously, this came with the news, the update as of minutes ago, that Chelsea have now pushed the date back. I only say this maybe to try and, I only say this in terms of Chelsea putting this date back. I think the only reason is to maybe just make it not seem like he's gone AWOL. We don't want another Courtois situation where someone's trying to force the move for whatever reason and then all of a sudden it looks bad. And I think Chelsea just wants this to be done very, very amicably. Personally, remember a few videos ago, I said, no, look, in terms of just holding the player, making him suffer, that's only done if there's just disrespect, right? Disrespect. What I mean by disrespect is, I don't mean someone doing like Lukaku doing an interview talking about his ex-club. Yes, that can be seen as, disrespectful, but it's not a direct confrontation to an employee at the club, a fellow player, a bust-up with a manager, a bust-up with a board member, a punch-up, abuse, that's what I mean by, okay, no, look, you're not playing, you're just going to suffer. He didn't do that. He's done an interview, he loves Inter, he doesn't want to be here, he wants to be there. Well, that's not actually hurting anybody. It's just, he doesn't want to be here. All right, cool, we'll find a move for you then. See you later. You don't belong here. Now, he's not showing up for training. This puts Chelsea in a very, very good position. Which I don't know if surely they've thought about this. And I understand maybe they just don't want the hassle. But if he doesn't come back on the date that he's told to come back on, that's a breach of contract. That's it. It's a breach of contract. Surely it's a breach of contract. We've asked you, you're contracted, you have to fulfill your obligations. We've asked you to come back on this date. You've refused. Breach of contract. Now, normally, with any other player, you can try and take the diplomatic route. What's the reasoning? Why? We're willing to listen to your reason. We might just punish you. We won't take you to court or sue you anymore. We'll just give you a little punishment. Then don't do it again, right? With Lukaku, I'm sorry, mate. You've dealt all your cards, right? And we've been nice up until now. Now you don't want to come back on the date we're telling you to come back. All right, court it is. Court it is. Not a problem. And this is where Chelsea have the upper hand. If Lukaku's pulling these strings, let him. Let him. Now, obviously, what we've heard is that Chelsea have pushed the date back. I don't know, as I've said, if this is just to make it look all right on the public eye, or if they've actually just done that because they just don't want to bother with the hassle. Inter Milan, we need to wait for a flipping bid. And what's going on there? Well, Fabrizio Romano's given us a latest, and we also have details from Matt Law in relation to a possible bid. So here's Fabrizio. Romelu Lukaku is now due to return at training with Chelsea on July 17th. No decision made yet on the player side on how to handle the pre-season situation. It will be discussed in a few days. Inter will return with a new bid very soon. Now, before we get into the actual bid, that was key. He mentioned that on the player side, there's no decision made as to handle pre-season situation yet. No, Chelsea have a situation already done, mate. Chelsea have a situation where they have the players that are actually going to be here training with Mauricio Pochettino. There is a separate group at Cobham currently being undertaken by Carlo Cudicini for the players where their futures are uncertain. They're not exactly in the squad. They're more than likely to leave, but they're still contracted, so they have to show up and train. That's Cudicini's group. Mate, the situation could have been more laid out for you. Come back to Cobham, go and train with Cudicini and wait for your move. Done. Now, as I said, personally, I'm actually not fussed if he's staying away. Like I've already said, if he's staying away from Cobham, to be honest, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But, what I'm saying is, his move, his decision to not show up has dealt Chelsea the upper hand in this. This is a kind of move we've been waiting for, to be honest, so that no one can blame Chelsea later on. Everyone looks at Lukaku and goes, you didn't show up for training. You breached your contract, mate. But, look, at the same time, I know Chelsea are trying to not do things too political. I know Chelsea are trying to do things calmly, without hassle, without fuss. And I get that. They just want to get their business done. Well, in terms of a fee, Chelsea have been asking for 40 million. And Inter have not coughed up. Maybe until now. Last night there was news from Di Marzio over in Italy that a bid of around 30 to 35 million could be coming in. And that was euros. Now, Matt Law has given us the latest in relation to this, and it might just hit the 40 mark. Check this out. Inter Milan plan to make an offer of 29 million euros plus 11 million euros in add-ons to Chelsea for Romelu Lukaku. Now, that does equal 40, but it equals 40 million euros, not 40 million pounds. Now, to be honest, look, as I've said before, I'll take a packet of crisps and a bag of nuts, you know, and a lemonade for Lukaku. I couldn't care less. But Chelsea are obviously going to try and get their money, right? And rightfully so. And to be honest, with Inter Milan and the way they've been handling the situation, I hope we'd rinse every single possible penny out of them. But 40 million euros, yeah, 29 million euros up front, 11 in add-ons. Just accept it. Accept it. Accept 40 million euros. Let's just take the money and go. Let's just end this. £315,000 a week off our wage bill. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Just, look, 40 million euros right now looks as good as 40 million pounds. So, just, yeah. If there's a way for you to get a bit more, cool, try, but we're wasting time. This is the problem. If we had time, I'd be like, no, rinse them properly. Look, I think 40 million euros is fine. Just accept, honestly, and let's get this guy gone, because it's just going to turn into a complete mess. And talking about messes, we're going to get into one big mess at the end of this video, and this is a similar situation when things fall out between player and club and how toxic it can get. We don't want to get to that situation. I will explain later on in regards to Mbappe. But before we do, let's get started. Let me know your thoughts, by the way, in relation to Lukaku down below and this situation where he doesn't want to show up for training. The date's been moved back to Monday. He won't show up for Monday. Let me just make that clear. He's not coming back. He's not coming back. Now, whether that's going to be with the permission of the club or out of his own doing remains to be seen. He's already hit one strike out of his own doing. Is he going to hit a second strike out of his own doing? If he does, to be honest, looks good for Chelsea. So let's wait and see. Let me know your thoughts down below in relation to Lukaku and his antics. Now, David Datro Fofana completes a move. Here it is. David Datro Fofana has completed the season-long loan move to Bundesliga side Union Berlin. Congrats to David Datro Fofana. As I said yesterday, I hope he smashes it out there, and I'm pretty sure he will. Fingers crossed. He has himself a lot of game time, development, growth, and then we can entertain David Datro Fofana next season. Not this one coming forward, but the one after. So good luck out in Germany. We will be watching. More news on a possible incoming, and it's another Brazilian. Here it is. Fabrizio saying, understand Chelsea have finally signed all documents with Santos for Angelo Gabriel deal. Told 2004 born talent will complete the second part of medical tests tomorrow, then travel to the USA with Chelsea. Deal worth €15 million fee. Club will decide on loan after the USA tour. There's how he's going to look like in blue, although that's with the old kit. Can we get the new kit? Can we? Look, I asked for your comments in relation to the Brazilian lot. A few videos ago. A lot of you were saying fantastic things about Angelo Gabriel, and I'm looking forward to seeing him. 2004 born, so he's 19, or 18, 19, just turned 19, or he's about to turn 19. Very, very young. Top talent in Santos, rated very highly. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. I'm looking forward to seeing these young Brazilians, and these young Brazilians are raw talent, just pure raw talent. Give them the ball and they'll drop some next samba antics on you. Right? And you're like, oh my God, what the hell is he doing? Right? I'm looking forward to seeing what has he just got in terms of raw talent, and the rest will be developed. Physically, mentally, maturity, all of that will come later. But in terms of his raw technique and talent, what can you do right now on the ball? I'm looking forward to seeing what these young lads are going to do in pre-season. And during those games, they have a chance to impress Poch and maybe, light the place on fire. Who knows? Maybe one of these lads we look at and go, whoa, he has to stay. It's possible. That's what I'm looking forward to. Are they going to get loan deals? More than likely. Are they going to impress very highly to maybe tempt Poch to keep any of them? Maybe. So that's going to be something to watch out in pre-season. Let me know your thoughts on Angelo Gabriel down below in the comment section. Before we end, let's get to the other big fish in the room, or the big elephant in the room. Not big fish in the room, big fish in the pond. Younes, what are you saying? Let's get to Mbappe. Mbappe's messed up my wires, right? Because what has happened over there is just absolute chaos now. Here's the latest from Le Parisien over in Paris. Kylian Mbappe will not extend his contract with PSG. The Emir of Qatar and Nasser Al Khelaïfi are angry with his decision, and Mbappe is also insisting on staying at the club until 2024. There's also this from Daniel Riolo. Kylian Mbappe will be at PSG next season. Even if PSG decides to put him on the bench, he will stay at PSG. Daniel Riolo, for those that don't know, look at him as the Fabrizio of France. Just of France, right? Riolo is very, very highly rated, especially in terms of PSG news. He's coming out and saying Mbappe's not going anywhere. He's staying. Now, personally, I think it's a tactic. He won't stay. He won't stay. But he has to portray that he's staying. He is absolutely cool with just sitting there and going, yeah, cool, I'm here. I'm staying at PSG. Because he will get his move. Whether it's for money or whether it's for free. And if he stays at PSG, he's going to get his salary. He's going to get, and this is the sticking point. The one big sticking point around this whole saga is who in the blue hell is going to pay his last year of his contract out. It's not going to be Real Madrid. And PSG are like, nah, we're not doing it. We're going to ask for 200 or 250 million. But what would that mean if they have to pay his final year of his contract out when it's meant to be the club that's buying him to do it? But Real Madrid right now, in terms of funds, are not going to be paying 200 or 250 million plus the final year of his salary. That's just too much for them. So Mbappe right now is in a situation where he has two options. Either Real Madrid come and they cough up and they pay and he goes and he gets his move and he's happy. Or Real Madrid don't do that. He stays at PSG. He fulfills his contract. PSG have to pay him. And he leaves for free. Which PSG do not want to do and have already expressed they will not do because it's Mbappe. And they can't let a player like Mbappe go for free. But the sticking point to that is you can't force a club to come and buy a player. You can't. If there's no buyers, you're stuck with him. So, what Daniel Riolo has also said is, and this is key, even if PSG decides to put him on the bench, PSG now, because of the way that Mbappe has spoken, and we all know Mbappe wants to move, but Mbappe's making it look like, no, I'm staying at PSG. It's complete tactical antics going on here. PSG have threatened to not play him. Cool, you want to stay here? We will destroy you. You ain't playing. You ain't going to stay fit. You're not going to be sharp anymore. You're going to spend an entire season not playing your football. That will absolutely decrease his value. PSG right now, if they're forced to do that, will probably be like, okay, look, we're not going to get the player, but we're not going to get any money for him if Real Madrid don't want to come in. If it were to get really desperate, all right, cool, you're not playing. Good luck with your move to Real Madrid now. It's tactical from PSG as well, because with this threat, Real Madrid now look at this and go, oh, hang on a sec. If we were to get Mbappe for free next season, right, he might come to us as one big lump that's not been playing for an entire year. We can't have that. And that's where PSG right now, I thought were playing checkers, but are now playing chess. And that threat could get Real Madrid to take some action. This is really, really tactical now. It's really tactical from PSG, from Mbappe, and from Real Madrid. I have to be honest, the initial mistake was made by PSG. Not in terms of this saga, but to put Mbappe on a pedestal. Well, I'm going to use his bottle, because they've bottled it, right? PSG have bottled it here. To put Mbappe on this pedestal, like, oh, you are the PSG, sir. We will give you everything you want, sir. How much do you want, sir? Here you go, sir. No problem, sir. Whatever you ask, sir. That's what they've done with Mbappe. Complete mistake. No one's bigger than the club. No one. Always. This is what happens when someone becomes bigger than the club. So the initial mistake was with PSG. But the way that PSG have handled it in terms of this saga as an isolated incident, I think has been spot on. They've absolutely made it clear, we will not let this player go for free. If he wants to go, we will happily let him go. Nasser Al-Khelaifi and Leonardo, who never does interviews but done one because of this, came out and said that he shouldn't speak the way that he's spoken. We're disappointed. We didn't expect that from him, you know? All of a sudden you're entertaining a move and now you're coming out and saying, no, I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay, knowing that the intention is to just force a move because you know you've got nothing to lose. It's sneaky. So from PSG, I completely understand in terms of this, but the initial mistake was made ages ago. Giving him this contract, making him look like a flipping demigod. You know, like that was what was wrong. Real Madrid now, I'm sure are going to be monitoring this and they have options here. They either pay the money or come to a compromise with PSG in terms of the final year of his contract. We pay half, you pay half. Let's do something, right? And Mbappe will move. I do suspect Mbappe will move. This summer, I think he will move. Despite the image that he's staying, he's not. He's not. And if he does, I genuinely think PSG will just not play him. And they will make him suffer. And he will lose his fitness, and he will lose his sharpness, and he's going to have to, I don't know, go and play five-a-side in his local area or something to stay match fit. I don't know. But they probably ban him. They'll probably tell him to stay away from training. You're training at home. You ain't welcome to the training ground. You ain't welcome to play. They'll just make his life hell. And as a player, that can be detrimental. Very detrimental. And that could jeopardize his move to Real Madrid even on a free, because then they look at him and go, nah, you're not the player that you were. This is where PSG might now have the upper hand once again. So let's see how this saga goes. Let me know your thoughts down below in relation to all of that. Absolute chaos. See, this is what happens. This is what happens when players get toxic and it gets flipping crazy and you big up a player too much. And this is what we're trying to avoid with Lukaku. This is what we're trying to avoid. We gave him a flipping crazy salary and that's enough. That's enough. Now we should just go, look, in relation to Mbappe, let me know your thoughts as well down below in how you reckon it's all going to end. Where do you think it's all going? Who has the upper hand? How do you see the saga ending? Let me know, much appreciated. And I will see you later on for video number 2. So make sure you guys are here later on tonight. I will see all of you then. Thank you very much for watching. Hit the like button if you did enjoy this. Don't forget, if you are new, hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. And I'll see you later on tonight. Have a good one, people. See you then. Take care and peace.